Her 9000's Game Room.
So here we have Zool, a game which was originally intended as a rival to Sega's Sonic the Hedgehog. The game's designer, George Allen, came up with the idea of Zool as despite his previous game, Switchblade 2, being a critical success, one area he did receive complaints over was the fact that some people felt that the game had a lack of enemies. The game might have started off as the Amiga's answer to Sonic, but it soon went multi-platform, turning up on the Atari ST, the Game Boy, the Sega Mega Drive, or Genesis as others know it, the SNES, the Master System, Sega's Game Gear, and the PC. Obviously, as this is part of my SNES review series, the SNES version is the one I'm going to be reviewing here. Most computer ports are pretty close to the original Amiga version, but the Mega Drive and SNES ports both feature different levels which are structured differently, as well as different background graphics and unique bosses. Both of these ports feature the soundtrack of the Amiga original, remixed to make the best of both consoles' unique sound systems. So while this does suffer from what I would call Amiga SNES conversion syndrome, whereby a much cheaper Amiga game is ported to a cart and sold at full price with no real work going into it, at least some effort seems to have gone into making the most of the Super Nintendo and its abilities here, instead of just trying to slap a disc on a cart and asking everyone to pay a pretty price for it. Okay, so let's get down to the game itself. Well, I can't help but feel that Zool does not feel in the least bit fresh at all. In fact, it feels like a compendium of knockoff ideas wrapped in a Chupa Chups lolly wrapper. The main thing this game rips off is the aforementioned Sonic the Hedgehog, fast-moving protagonist who the developers felt personified cool, check. Cuteness and bright things level dialed up to 11, check. Super fast movement, check. The main issue is that from my perspective at least, the game copies some key ideas while totally missing the point. For example, you might zip quickly forwards but your character's too close to the front of the screen. By the time you've seen something, you've already passed through it. Sure, you can spin about and fire, but you soon find yourself spinning and firing almost constantly in the hope that you'll hit something that will be in your way. Sonic has some of this covered by the fact that when hit you drop your rings instead of dying, and you can keep picking them up again and again to ward off the Grim Reaper. In Zool you have a life bar which can run down far faster than you'd imagine, as stuff repeatedly slams into you. This game has lots of levels and some pretty long ones at that, and it's one of those games that expects you to finish the whole thing with no battery backup or passwords, although in the modern day and age I guess this is an issue you can solve with the right hardware such as emulation and save states, but this doesn't help if you're looking to experience the actual cartridge on original hardware. The best thing about Zool is definitely the graphics, which I feel hold up rather well when compared to other games in the SNES library. You have lots of bright colours and a steady frame rate. How much you actually enjoy them though is going to depend on how much you're into your cuteness. If you want to see a world full of lollipops and chocolate eggs and candy canes, then this is going to be right up your alley, as they're all there in bright glory. The only terrifying thing you're going to see here is a bunch of terrifying eyebrows pasted onto cute little slimes and bees. For me though, the graphics are in no way matched by the sound. You have repetitive grungy music, matched with overly loud repetitive sound effects. It just lacks the charm of games like Mario and Sonic, which have carefully crafted level music which will find yourself humming weeks later, paired with satisfying little sound bites which bring life to the worlds in which they exist. This is something that's lacking in Zool. The most important part of a game is not the graphics or the sound though. Most of what makes a game good or bad rests firmly on the controls, which in this case I definitely think disappoint. They just feel a bit slippy and slidey. You don't feel like you have that kind of tight control which makes games like Mario and the 2D Sonic games the classics they are. I can't say that this is a truly bad game, it's more one of those games which is a disappointment. There was potential there, but it never quite lived up to it. Sure, it was worth its cost on the Amiga where it came on a floppy disk, but in the world of £40 carts, it was never going to be able to stand head to head with the likes of Mario and Sonic. So, as of the time of this review, if you really decided that you needed Zool on your SNES and you wanted to use an original cartridge, not some kind of EverDrive or reproduction, you're only talking about £12 for a loose copy, with a box copy going for about £30, but I actually think that there are so many better things you can spend your money on. Even if you have all the Mario games, all the Sonics, they are much better modern retro style platformers coming out. So I'd give this game a miss. The alien ant gremlin ninja thing, he just fell a little bit short. Okay, it's Kerr9000 signing off, saying keep on gaming.